All right, we are very sorry for this inconvenience. This should honestly be not happening, so we'll engage the hotel management to speedify their service. Young people, especially entrepreneurs, cannot be in a queue for more than 15 minutes to have tea. So for late afternoon tea, we'll make sure that there's different tea stations so that we swiftly have tea and grab snacks so that by the time we, on the agreed time, we are seated down so that we move with our program. So we will rectify this error for during lunch so that when you go have lunch, you are also not on a long queue. It is convenient. So now we will, after that, so down mode. I see colleagues are having sweets. Yeah. So yeah, you can chow so that when you engage confidently. All right, now that we have settled down, we are now going straight to 4 commissions. So the 4 commissions will have 4 speakers. The speakers will engage with you with subject matter topics and programs that are available for young people. And before we go through that, I'm gonna call on stage Ntate Tello May, who is the Product Development Manager from the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, who will engage with you guys on the work that he does and how the session overflow is going to look like. So can we please give Ntate Tello May a round of applause as he comes to the podium.
I think I must charge the hotel because otherwise I'm losing out on the welcomes, you know. Tabang is very creative, but I see I'm losing out. But anyway, yeah. Welcome everybody. Dumelang, Macheroni, Khuyemore, still, yes, Khuyemore still. And you're all welcome. Let me say it, because I said it last time, and I think it just makes sense. This meeting wouldn't have happened if you were not here. So you have made us efficient by coming. You have made us progressive by availing and giving of your time today. We're doing Pitching Booster with a purpose, to reach out to young people across Gauteng, both entrepreneurs and those that are unemployed. The Pitching Booster seeks to, 1, present entrepreneurship as an alternative to joblessness. We know that some of our entrepreneurs are in business out of a need, so that most of the businesses that we have are not businesses that you can readily sell like Mark Shuttleworth did some years ago. But in terms of contribution to economy, contribution to the Gauteng mainstream,
Jesus Christ. One, two.
yeah, I was saying we believe that it is important that we mainstream young entrepreneurs, as youth are also being mainstreams for the longest time. It just said when you hear about black industrialists, we are told, one of my acquaintances was saying to me, as they were considering black industrialists, They were also classifying our president as an emerging black industrialist. That is very sad. However, I think we need to be awake to the value chain that we find ourselves operating, particularly as entrepreneurs, to say it's not enough just to settle for that which brings food, but how do you then build a business that begins to operate beyond your immediate environment? A business that, if you were to sell it, you would indeed begin to play with the main leagues. That is not impossible. And that's why we thought, let's come out, let's take young people at a central venue and do the Pitching Booster, which is also a form of boot camp. So we believe that by the end of this today and tomorrow, you would have had opportunity to access the information that you would have known, you would have wanted, because we believe that this is a suit to bring most valuable information to yourselves. So I believe I'm talking to people here who have ideas. So it's not a problem if you have not registered your company yet. We will assist you to register a company at least over the next 2 days if you are ready. But you do also have people that have businesses. At least you have a product or a service that you are offering. Maybe you haven't really thought much about it, but we will unpack it over the 2 days to make sure that at least you have even a better appreciation of your business. Do not feel sorry that you fired your boss. But may I ask, be the best boss that you'll ever be to yourself. So on that note, I normally ask a question. How many of you have been on leave since you started your hustling? Yeah, this is normally the response that I get. So I think we need to better that point so that at least, as with many people, when the business is making money for them, they are probably hiking on some mountain or somewhere in the deep blue seas on a yacht, you know? So I think we should aspire for great things, because the one that made us for a purpose, and we can be the only ones who stop the plan of God with our lives, okay? So the business or service that you have obviously would have your repeat business, and it must be a business that is scalable. So by this, I'm not talking down your business. I'm just saying, look at that business model again and work on it. So we will assist you by way of various speakers today. There's also another important thing that I want us to encourage entrepreneurs about, and this is continue and be hungry, you know, to improve on your craft, you know. I can't do it for you. Improving your craft means getting knowledge. Improving your craft means being available to such settings so that you can get new advice for yourself to be able to grow yourself, so that you can get access even to other services such as mentorship, coaching, and so on. But importantly so, this is an opportunity for networking. So we believe that in the 2 days, clients would have found their suppliers. Suppliers would have found their clients. Partnerships will emerge. And in the true spirit of business linkages, that will be an outcome that we're really looking forward to. The issue of market compliance, I want to call it market compliance, goes also with standards. So sometimes we have products, we have ideas, but we are not able to protect our ideas, and thereby fall victim by other people who are taking over these ideas. So let us also explore a lot around IP, because this is your legacy, your business is your legacy, and as a result, you want to protect it. It's just said that most foreign companies have registered IPs on South African products when we are still here. So why is it that black business and black majority remain as consumers in their own land and space? So this is a calling on entrepreneurs to say, organize yourselves better so that you can also take advantage of those business associations, those business chambers. And if you are battling, call us in so that at least we can come and assist you to set up credible organizations that can really take our communities forward. I want to acknowledge my colleagues before I tell you about what is going to happen next. But my colleagues are normally very busy. Some are outside, some are in here. I work with people, and these people make these events to be real. So on that note, I also just want to acknowledge once more Ulwazi Resource Consulting with Tabang Mabuza, and say that this journey actually started way back in I think around 2008 we did a plateau mentorship. 2012 we were in Gauteng doing the Lions Den. 2014 we did youth entrepreneurship workshops. And 2017, last year, we started again on the pitching, and it gained momentum later around September. So we are happy that at least we are able to catch up on our goals, and we hope that you will indeed benefit out of this. So the future is really in each of us' hands. But as it is, they say something about the attitude. So based on your attitude, you can rise to a particular level. So they say attitude can give you impetus to go to a particular level, your altitude. But it is the character that actually sustains us at a particular level. So that means when we go at length about talking branding, going at length about working on your model, having worked in your model or your business, it is important that we take strides indeed to locate ourselves in a position that we recognize the location where we're at. Ekurhuleni is one of the most unique economies, and I think currently under spotlight. But I always ask myself, I wonder how many of our entrepreneurs are taking advantage of the aerotropolis, of the R21 developments that are taking place. So this is information that you have, so it can only materialize if you action it. I think that's what we all appreciate. So on that note, I just once more want to acknowledge some of our mentors, some of our adjudicators that are here today. Please be nice to them, but do not relate to them too much for today, okay? Because it might be, you know, we might think that they have selected you because you are too nice. So some people already approached me and so on. I'm glad I'm not adjudicating tomorrow. But today it's only because I'm working on this thing just to see that everything goes well. But I can tell you by lunch and later today we'll be able to talk together about anything that you'd want to talk about. So on that note, I just want to introduce our speakers for this session. Tabang will continue. I want to introduce Activate, because Activate We were introduced to Activate around 2014. We had youth entrepreneurship workshops at the top of Africa. I don't know how many of you have been to the top of Africa. Yeah, even that name is a strange name. Ne? Unal pleke bitso Carlton Center, if you don't know it. Yeah, so a number of activators there. And I was first introduced there following what Tabang had told me about Activate. So Activate, I think, is an initiative. They will explain it. But what I like about it is it's easier to bring change using communities of young entrepreneurs, young minds, people that are willing to take charge and make a difference. So normally when I talk about Thabang Mabuza, I say he's a rainmaker, and I believe we all can be rainmakers, isn't it? Yeah, I like your seriousness, but I just assume it's informed by your dissatisfaction about the service. As we said, let me apologize once more, something that I don't like doing because I'm not a politician. And please enjoy it, enjoy the rest of the presentations. Okay, Thank you.
Good morning. It's still morning, afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Untlanhla Ndlovu from Activate Leadership. So basically what Activate Leadership is, it's a youth organization. We develop young people with a drive for change. So if you have a passion for your community, if you have a passion for South Africa and you want to see a different South Africa than what it is today, these are the young people that we're working with, from ages 18 all the way to 30, with a bit of an exception, up until 35. But basically, we have young people who are doing amazing work in different communities across South Africa. I'm talking about, young people in Limpopo, for example, who are working with children, parents who don't have the money to take their kids to a crash or daycare, and they look after these parents' children while they go look for work for free. These are young people that, are trying to fight with politicians, to provide services to their communities because, they're secluded and the government doesn't look to those communities. So these are young people really who just have a passion for South Africa. And as Activate, what we do is that we capacitate these young people through a training called the Change Drivers. And this training basically just teaches a person about self-identity first, to be able to articulate yourself, to be able to talk about some of the passions that you have as a young person, and to be able to tell someone who's in power what it is that you want as a young person and as a community, what it is that you're looking for. We also teach on, political landscapes and how to navigate, political landscapes. And because this is an important thing, everything we do in life, unfortunately or fortunately, has a political element to it. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you're just a civilian, but everything you do, there is a political influence, there is a political element to it, and if you cannot navigate those political aspects, it can become a challenge if you're trying to drive change. So these are some of the things that we teach young people. So what I do personally at Activate is we've created a sector. So at Activate, we have a network of about 2,500 young people across SA. By the end of this year, we should have about 3,400. We're looking to reach 5,000 young people across the country. Within the network, we've divided ourselves into different sectors, and entrepreneurship is one of them, and I'm heading that sector. So mine is really not to just link young people to opportunities such as these, but it's also to look at the entrepreneur themselves, because one of the most important aspects about entrepreneurship is you can look for the opportunity and you can find it, but also your wellness as an entrepreneur is an important aspect. How your mindset, how your mindset is, how you perceive things, how you communicate with other people. These are some important things that entrepreneurs need to have. And so mine is to take care of not just the entrepreneurship, the activity of the hustle, but actually even the hustler themselves, making sure that the hustler is okay and that they are actually reading, teaching themselves, empowering themselves, and are able to actually go out there and grab opportunities. The reason we created the sector is because personally I'm also, within enterprise development, and one of the staggering realities that we are living in right now is that there is a shrinking job market in South Africa, in fact in the world. And this job market that is shrinking means that more and more young people are unemployed. In South Africa, we are sitting with a percentage of about 55% young people who are unemployed, sitting at home, who don't know what to do. Some of these include graduates, some are not graduates, some dropped out of school, but basically, that is the bleak picture that we're looking at. And so mine is to really encourage entrepreneurship, because one of the realities that we are living in now is that we are working towards what the world sees as a fourth industrial revolution. And I think young people need to play a part in this. So this is what I want to say personally, just to encourage you as entrepreneurs. And then I would like to just a quick 2 minutes to get someone who's within our network, who's also here, just to share their experience as well as an activator. And then I can open it up for questions. So just as an example, I think one of my frustrations with entrepreneurship is the fact that as young people, we are always looking at consumerist businesses. What that means is, if you're in textiles, you are the person that gets a designs, goes to buy wherever, and you sew that thing and you give it to your client, right? And that's great, it's a business, it's awesome. But the reality is that within that particular business, there's an entire value chain that young people are not tapping into. And for me, that presents a problem. And I think we have young industrialists that are able to actually start tapping into these industries. For example, Ekurhuleni, we are all coming from townships. The Kota business is one of the biggest businesses that this country has. It's actually worth 10 billion rand per annum. 10 billion rand, can you believe that? But here's the sad truth. That 10 billion does not circulate amongst people in the township. And how this happens is the value chain is not owned by people in the township. You don't own the farms that provide the potatoes. You don't own the processor that makes the cheese. Cheese for Kota business makes 1 billion rand per annum just on Kotas in South Africa. 1 billion rand providing cheese to the Kota shop where you buy Kota sometimes when you are hungry. The bread is another industry, but we are not producing, we are not playing a part in that entire value chain. At the end of the day, all we are doing is making the Kota while everybody else on top is playing, is playing games with the 9 billion rand. And the 1 billion rand that's there in the township is there for the person who's actually making the actual Kota and selling it to you for 10 rand, 15 rand, 20 bucks. We are not there. Even the packaging of a Makota, we are not there. We are not manufacturing plastics. We're not manufacturing foam plates. We're not manufacturing anything that has to do with that business. And I think for me, there's a fundamental flaw to our approach as young people when we look at entrepreneurship. And we need to start broadening our minds beyond what we know. One of the biggest businesses that black people own, taxi industry. Billions of rands are being made out of that industry. And some of those billions are not owned by black people. We are always proud. Taxis is a black business, and that's awesome. But the black business really starts and ends with owning a taxi and putting it on the road. Who makes the tires? Who makes the glasses? Who makes the chairs? Who makes the windows? Who makes, the steering wheels? You guys get the point, right? So what I'm saying is, township business is big business. It's so extraordinary if you really look at it. It is huge business if we can begin to create a mind shift, create a paradigm shift from having consumerist businesses and moving these same businesses slowly towards playing a role in the entire value chain of the businesses that we own in Ekurhuleni. So if you are in textiles, I challenge you today. Look for a vision that says one day you will manufacture in Ndwangu. If you are in food, be a farmer one day. If you are in food, have a processing plant. Agro-processing is big. And also, I challenge us to start using each other. all right? Let's stop buying Louis Vuittons because they don't support you, right? Let's stop buying Gucci because Gucci doesn't support you. But as entrepreneurs, we're saying as young people, we need to now start looking at ourselves and start creating this economy that can actually circulate amongst ourselves, create a circular economy, and create a wealth for ourselves. That's it. So guys, this is what I do on a daily basis. At night, when I wake up, I encourage young people. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so, you know, let's make it happen. Buddy, 2 minutes, my guy, and then we'll open up for questions.
Thank you, Nhlanhla. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It feels very weird being here. Well, my name is Mpadi Tele, and I'm one of the activators. I attended the program in 2016. Okay. Yeah, you guys look very scary from here. Okay, yeah, I attended the program in 2016. That's when I became an activator. But I want to talk about the types of opportunities that an Activate network will assist you. He spoke about how we are a 2,000 network of people. But now there are opportunities because what Activate does, opposed to these other programs, whereby you meet, you get motivated, then you go home. It's not like that with Activate. What happens is you are inspired to do more and you're inspired to want to work with other people within the network. So that's what makes me to proud myself to be an activator. And another thing that I found in the network is that we started an organization which we call Amen, which is Activate Men basically, but at the same time it's like Amen, like Amen, what is Amen, you know? So we noticed that there's a lot of programs that empower women, but in the process, a boy child is left outside. You know, no one is teaching that boy that it is bad to hit a woman, but there's everyone teaching a girl that a boy should never hit you. You see, so now we're having women which are empowered and boys that are disempowered. Understand? So Activate Men seeks to address that challenge and seeks to bring about a generation of new men, bring about a man who would say, not in my name. You understand? You cannot be an abuser and say you are an abuser because of a man. You understand? So as a network, most recently, towards the month end of February, we had a summit, intergenerational summit for men. It was about 100 men who were gathered in one space. And through that summit, we learned a lot. We learned that there's a great need to redefine this issue of masculinity as whole. So we need to view men in a different way. We need to start having conversations as men, and we need to start programs that will empower men to empower young boys, so that we don't only take a girl child to work, but we also take a boy child to work and stuff like that. So I would encourage everyone who is passionate about change and growth to please try and find out how to join the network. Ntantla will explain further on that. And then come and join the network. You will not regret it. Thank you.
Thanks, Buddy. Buddy. Yeah, any questions? Okay, there's a question there. Lady, you are not. I'll just take 3. So one this side, lady here, and gentleman there. And that will be it. Thanks.
Afternoon. My name is Sipelele Kantuntu. I just want to ask a question based on my application. I did an application last year with Activate. So I got a reply that I will be interviewed, but that never happened. Since that day, I still don't know what happened to my application. Was I successful or not? That's what I need to know.
The lady in the corner there.
Afternoon, Nhlanhla. My name is Mpho, founder of Izinkanyezi Group of Companies. My question is based on a follow-up. Well, it can link back to the gentleman there. So, in any case of what you guys are doing in motivating young people, young entrepreneurs, put so much pressure on, when you fast approaching 35 and you're like, do I still have a chance? So I'm asking, in any case of a follow-up, right, do you guys go back to where you once tapped into to say, we are trying to activate you to have a passion? Like motivation is like a daily, you need to bath every day, so is motivation. So you would sometimes get discouraged based on not getting a reply, things not coming your way. However, and lose your passion in whatever you have or whatever you had actually aspired to do. So is there a system in place that actually would go back to the person, check up, follow up, motivate back up on your feet and actually try to get things going?
Good afternoon. My name is Steven from Afrivala Doors. Basically, we manufacture wooden doors. As I understand you saying you guys activate or help activate the entrepreneurs, my question will be, after activation, do you guys have a case study whereby you revert back and you say, we've activated Steven and ABC, we've helped him to leapfrog into him running a successful business, not just formalizing, because it's one thing to say we have show days where we help people register, but registration one thing, and running a company is all something different in terms of growth strategy. Like, I'll give you a brief example. I think there's no point in me saying this, because if I don't give you the example, and I'm not trying to be rude, just 5 minutes, yes. Okay, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, okay. I want to back up my point. I understand time is very of essence, right? We are in manufacturing. We are very young, we're black, right? When you approach like people like builders, I'll give you an example. They're talking 20% rebate, right? And already they've got your white suppliers or manufacturers that are already buying in capacity. What I'm saying is the support holistically going forward to actually the growth strategy, because it's one thing to, anyway, I wish I can get 2 hours.
Makes perfect sense. Yes.
All right. No, thanks, Stephen. Okay, interviews. My guy, I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of the organization. What's going on, though, is that there are people who applied last year. We have 4 intakes this year. So there are people who are still getting interviewed. So it's probably still coming. So just hang in there, bruh. Hang in there. It's still coming. You applied last year, right? For 2018. It's still coming. The interview is coming. Yes. Mpho, so do we do follow-ups on applications or also on activators? On activators, okay, sure. So my sector, for example, entrepreneurship is a follow-up process, if you will, because then it's like Mpadi is a 2016 activator, we have 2015, we have 2013, 2012, and we are working with these activators in these different programs that we're working on. So we are always trying to keep in touch with activators as much as possible. Now, I will say that as an organization, we're small. So we don't have the capacity to reach all 2,500 all the time. But we try as much as possible to reach as many as we can. And we encourage, most importantly, that we are creating a network for young people. So if, as an organization, Activate dies out for some odd reason, we want the network to continue living on its own. It should be an independent entity on its own. So we encourage that with the people in our network. I hope that answers you. Is there any structure in place? Yes, there is. There is. So, yeah. And then, Stephen, my guy, do we have a case study right here? He's an activator. He went through the program. He started the Lion's Den. Well, I mean, he's doing this. So here's a case study. Now, in terms of support and growth, here's what I'm going to say to you. We do not have, as an organization, we do not have the capacity to provide support or create a growth strategy for you. But what we do is that we create linkages with support structures. Now, one thing, if I can just give a quick advice. If you're in manufacturing, right, One of the biggest mistakes that we make as entrepreneurs is that when we do manufacturing, we want to quickly run to retail, right? That is a wrong strategy. If you're in manufacturing, whether you're manufacturing beverages, food, or you're manufacturing, bricks, whatever the case might be, do not go to retail. Go to a consumer customer. What that means is a retail will take your product, put it on the shelf, but if it doesn't sell after a period of time, they take it back to you. You've made a loss in time and money. So what you want really is to go for the person who's actually going to take your product and use it immediately. If you can do that, even a funder sees that as an actual customer. You've proven a market. But if you go to a funder and you say to a funder, I've got cash billed as a customer, that is not your customer. That is not a market for you. You've just created a retail channel for selling your business. Does that make sense? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm still around, so if you need to talk to me, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to Activate. Now we are going for a very problematic system-based session. So 90% of the people that are here are entrepreneurs. Who is on the central supplier database? Did you register within 3 hours and receive the MAAA number same time? or you constantly receive these requests for quotations, Zama Giza. Do you know these RFQs for Gizas from the Department of something something? But when you check, it's Department of at dha.co.za. There's no .gov.za. Then you submit, then they chow your man. Yes. So we have a gentleman from the National Treasury, and their role is to roll out the central supplier database, where all people who wish to do business with government, and lately even with corporates, must be registered on the CSD with a working CSD number, MA number, and so forth. So the gentleman up next is going to take us through that system. If you haven't registered, he will also take you through that and also engage you guys around the RFQs that go out, which one you must look for and which one you must just delete. Just like certain, political organizations who would send you a message saying this two organization is two with a normal number. Then you ask yourself, where did they take my number? Which database do they collect it from? So the gentleman up next is going to have a conversation with you guys on that one. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Dumela magolo, le kae? Alting. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Munlanyana. I'm from Gauteng Provincial Treasury. I hear Tavan saying that I'm from National Treasury, but I'm from Gauteng Treasury. In Gauteng, there's a place called GSSC. I know some of you know that place, Gauteng Shared Service Center. That very same place has been, the name has been changed into Gauteng Provincial Treasury. Can you hear me properly now? Okay, okay. So, my purpose today for coming here is actually to come and talk about the CSD, the Central Supply Database. So I can see from the floor where most of us remote CSD. So what I'm going to try to touch on so that I can but for the sake of people they are not yet on Central Supply Database, let me try and explain what this database is about. Ladies and gentlemen, the CSD, is the Central Supply CSD, is a database which is used by the government in order to do business with suppliers. It may be white, black, etc. So database, it works for national government, provincial government, and municipalities. In other words, what it means is that if I'm a supplier, business person, I want to do business with government, I only register once for the rest of my life, unless regulations and policies and whatever changes. Once I've registered, then it's forever. The only thing that I need to do on the system is just to update my information, say if my ownership changes or my tax situation changes or whatever. But as I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, national government and provincial government, the system is operating 100%. Maroko, the municipalities, is not yet so much developed. In some municipalities, it's working, others not yet. It's still in progress. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, then the other question may be, why should I register on CSD as a business person supplier? Ne? You know, let me just go a little bit backward. Ne? Around 2008, 2009, there was a system in GSSC where people used to register and they used to get vendor numbers. Remember, starting with 11 and some numbers, a total of 10 numbers. Now that system is no longer in operation. This new system I'm talking about, the CSD, is the only database through which I, as a supplier, can access business, government. There's no other way. So it's a must that I register on the database. Okay. And then the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I also want to talk about is always when I lead this question to say, but I've already registered in other government departments like infrastructure, in education, in health. So my response to such questions is that, you know, if you have registered in such database, just ignore the information because those people themselves, those government people themselves, also have moved over to the new system, the CSD system. So whatever information they have there, they are no longer going to use it. But now the right thing to do as a business person, you know, in order to be on the safe side, don't just sit and say the people will migrate the information. It's better to go self and register yourself on the system. And then the other thing also that the point that I want to touch on is that, you know, when this system CSD was created, intention was that a supplier should self-register, so long as the person is computer literate. Ne? But as time goes on, and then it became evident that some of the people have challenges with registering or on the computer because of the computer literacy. So what is happening is that the government has come up with some strategies or interventions to try and help people. So in National Treasury in Pretoria, there is a section, they always call it the help desk, where there are people who are always doing the registration for suppliers. And then in Joburg, in Treasury, we also have that section called help desk. The session is open Monday to Friday from 8 in the morning till 3 p.m. in the afternoon. What is needed, the person don't have to make an appointment to just come in. The people are there, they'll always give assistance. Okay. And then the other thing that I also want to touch on is that what documents are needed for me to be able to register on the system. The first one is the CK1. I know that all of you know the CK1. I don't have to explain it. The CK1 from SIPS. The other one is the tax clearance certificate. The other one is I need to have a bank account. And then the fourth one is I need to have I don't want to say a BE certificate. Let me say I need to have a document that indicates my black ownership. I'll touch on that later on. Listen. So if you have the four documents, the CK, the tax clearance, bank account, and solar affidavit, you'll be able to register on the system. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what is happening. The CSD is a new system, it's still evolving. What was discovered was that many people, because they don't have businesses, active businesses, as a result, they are not able to have bank accounts. So as the system developed, they have introduced something in which, as a business person, I'm able to register on the database, even if I don't have the bank account. So I'm encouraging people to know that, it's not really a necessity that I should have the bank account. Even if I don't have, I can be part of the system, and then the opportunity will always be open for me. And then the last point that I also want to touch on is that people, especially for people who are able to self-register on the system, you'll find out that sometimes you lose the equipment, let's say the phone that you are using when when putting in the information. And then when you want to update, say for instance, you are changing the bank, moving from one bank to another, you need to input the information, but there is always the OTP number. You know the OTP number, most people. You know it, most. Yeah, so, the point that I really want to emphasize about the OTP is that, as a supplier, you register. Before you can go on further register, and you need that OTP number. Yeah. But now, if my equipment is lost, it means that OTP will be sent over to that lost equipment. I want to have access to that information, no? Now, in order to solve that problem, what happens is that it's better to come to Treasury, because we as people, as public servants, we have access to different parts of the system. So anytime when I'm, say, assisting a person at Treasury, registering the information go to his cell phone, but the same information is registered somewhere in my profile as a person who's inputting the information, the public servant. So in that way, if you come to Treasury, the information will always be sorted out. Ladies and gentlemen, I think in the interest of time, I've come to the end of the presentation. But for the sake of follow-ups, can I give you my numbers? Sorry, I'll be quick. I'll be just quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I always give out numbers because I know that the system is a problem. Even for us, when we started inputting the information, we really encounter problems. So it's better if I give people numbers, and then apart from this, then we can always liaise face-to-face or telephonically in order for people to be able to come across all these problems. Okay, can you hear me properly? But it's, okay, my cell number is 082 663 8520. Can you hear? Okay. 082 663 8520. The office number is 011 689 6776. You are welcome to use any number, cell or whatever. I know that in the past days we used to say people don't use the cell number and all that, but everything is fine. So can I? No, it's fine. Okay. Okay, can I repeat it? 011 689 6776. 082 663 8520. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Okay.
All right. We are going to take only 3 pressing questions. You've already asked the question.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Then if you still have any other questions, he's still around throughout the day.
Okay.
Hello everyone. I'm Nonkululaga from NoPEM Services dealing with electrical supply. With regards to the system, it has a lot of glitches, hey? Because we spend about 3-4 hours trying to load information, and I don't think it's an issue of computer literacy. I think there's a huge problem, and I think it should be attended to so that we can register properly on the system. And also, municipalities are still using vendor numbers. I don't know if we can still continue with that, because we're still having a problem with regards to registering on the database. So with the vendor numbers, can we still use them, or are they phased out now?
Where's my number 3?
Hello, everybody. My name is Matutwana, and I'm in the business of opening swimming schools in my township and other townships. Now, regarding the system, which you said you mentioned municipalities that are still using vendor numbers. I'd like to know which municipalities in and around Gauteng that are open for companies that are registered on the CSD without having a vendor number, and which are not. As well as your system has got a security breach. Now, after registration, I received thousands of emails confirming that they're requesting a request for a quote. And you find out these are scams, and when you do send the code through, you get a congratulation email that you've made it through and you've received the project or the tender. And then when you do go to the bank and request that you should get funding in order to support this tender, you find out that you call it an RFQ, is actually a scam. So what are you doing in order to fix that? Because now we're going to be scammed everywhere.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nathaniel. I'm from a company called Nastem Tech. We do smart meters. I actually need some clarity. You mentioned that you actually have to register on the system in order for the government to do business with suppliers, right? So I need to find out, like, when you mean suppliers or when you're saying to do business with suppliers, are you talking about allocation of tenders or what? Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start with the question from Nonkululeko. Yeah, am I right to say Nonkululeko? The first one was about the problems that people are encountering when registering on the system. We try to find out, remember that the system has been developed by National Treasury. So the response that we are getting from them is that, so there are so many users at the same time on the system that the system become overloaded, for lack of better word. It's overloaded. Hence, the best time is always to register after 4 p.m., as they say it. And they are saying that, there's nothing much that they can do about it because, the system is open to everybody. It's being used by government department, it's used by suppliers. So it's overloaded, but they are working on it to solve the problem. I'm also aware of that problem. Even if we are using the problem ourselves, we come across such challenges where sometimes, it will even go off completely. People have to wait for that. They say they are working on it. Okay? I mean National Treasury, because they are the people who actually developed and started the system. The other question was about vendor numbers. I didn't quite get properly the question. Or can I just clarify how the vendor numbers work? Ne? The vendor numbers that I was referring to are those numbers which start with is 11, and then 000, and then some other numbers. And then those numbers were generated from GSSC. Well, it's now Treasury. I don't know if you are referring to those vendor numbers. Because I know that, there have been so many systems. Municipalities have their own system. Other government departments have their own system. And they will also use the same terminology to say it's a vendor number. So I'm not so sure whether you are speaking about the 11 ones or from municipalities. For municipalities, I really don't have so much information. As I'm saying that they were using different systems. So you'll find out someone from, say, West Rand municipality, they are using this system, and then another municipality, their own system. There were so many different systems in such a way that I won't really be able to say whether they are still good. But what I can say is that for those municipalities who have migrated to CSD, we are using now the MAAA numbers. But for those municipalities who are still in the process, they are still using the old system. Remember that this is the new system. It started around 2014, 2015. So it's not yet 100% perfect. Okay, yeah. Have I responded? Or we can speak after the presentation? Then the other one is from the lady Joanna, Mara Joanna. Yeah. The concern was about the scam emails that suppliers receive from, from scammers and all that. We are aware of the problem, and then the solution to this problem is that you will always see that if someone from the government is requesting a quotation from a supplier, sending an email to a supplier, the email address will always indicate that this is a scam or not. You see, the government emails will always end with @gauteng.gov.za. Then all the scams that I've come across too, they will always end in other ways. It will be perhaps treasury.co. something like that. So they never. So that is the only way in which you can distinguish. But ladies and gentlemen, you also need to understand that we know that there are so many people who can crash into other systems and do lots of all things. So, as a public servant who has been working around or in the system, I do accept that the system as it is, is not 100% foolproof. That is the opinions that we have formed about the system. I don't know if I have really responded, but we can speak outside the meeting after that. And then the other question was about the gentleman from the back there. You wanted to find out if once a person is registered on the system, is it for RFQs or RFPs? It's for all. It's for the quotations and it's for the tenders. Understand? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can, in the interest of time, can we see each other after the presentation? Okay.
All right. Thank you very much from the Gauteng Treasury. And honestly, from experience, colleagues, make sure you are registered on the CST. But equally to that, if there's a municipality you want to be part of, register on their database. Because we know these processes takes time to fade away. So make sure you still have a vendor number, I say Ekurhuleni, if you want to do business with Ekurhuleni. But some institutions, as much as you have a vendor number, will still require a CST number for them to pay you. So play it very well. It's an issue of navigating this space very well. Register on these databases, get the vendor numbers up until they've phased out. Then you can equally compete. But for now, to navigate fast, make sure you are on the database. So if you are not on the database, Ekurhuleni, make sure you go to is it the Breakaway or Chimistin office? Go at Trewook, right? Trewook, yes. So, but those are that's information we can engage on outside. But I'm just saying, make sure you are on the database. But don't be an RFQ and tender bringer. Be there because there's value and there's a core service you can provide. Don't run now you are in a catering space. Now you are providing pavement. Now you are general maintenance. No. Make sure you've got a core service that is needed, because only then you can grow sustainably and see your turnover and business grow as it goes. So having said that, moving forward, we are now going to give a 10 minutes of famous city once more to Mr. Mahapa from Bai Township. He will take us through his presentation for 10 minutes, then we'll have, as usual, 3 questions. After that, we'll then have the last speaker around mentorship. From there, voila, your heads are up and it's time for lunch. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mahapa Mpitso, as it's been said, and I've been told you'll have a chance to ask me questions later. I want to do something else different. I'm going to ask one person this side, one person that side, one person that side, a volunteer to just stand up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, this is what we're going to do. Instead of you asking me a question, you are going to answer a question. And the question is very simple. And I need you to take your notebook and your pen. And nobody else shall help you to answer this question. Tear that piece of paper. As soon as you've written your answer, you give it to me. And the answer is in one word. One word, not a sentence. What is it that if a business doesn't have, it dies? There's one thing that any business that doesn't have that would not survive. One word. Going once. Going twice. Did you stand up? Sure, you're not in here. Yo. Sure. Nix makopa. Ngiphe ubhaleni, ngiphe lokubhalile usile. Sure. Ha. Rasta, I hope about two samo. Thank you. Remain standing, please. Remain standing. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got three answers, and I'm going to give them to this lady in front of me here. I haven't looked at them. I came today with 810 rand in my pocket. I had hoped to part with at least 800 rand, but I realized there's only 3 columns. So I'm going to go home with 200 rand in my pocket. That is provided the 3 people have answered the question correctly. Each one of them will get 200 rand. So, one said drive. Drive, D-R-I-V-E. The other one said, huh. And the other one said, huh. Who said drive? You can sit down now. I saved myself 200 rand, and there's a winner. He said, huh. And there's another winner. You know, it's so easy to make 200 rand. So I'm going home today with 400 rand in my pocket. Thank you, my brother. The answer to the question is customer. Without a customer, you are having no business. And that's the only truth that we must all remember and live by. Because for as long as you cannot have people coming to buy from you, you have no business. You actually have no business being in business because they have no customers. It's either a customer or a consumer. I'm going to share just 2 laws with you. You've been told I'm from an entity, program, whatever it's called by township. You may need to write it down. Maybe you get another luck. I'm going to share 2 laws only in the 10 minutes I've been given. The one law is called the law of income. Income, ching ching. It says you will be paid in direct proportion. Mathematics, direct proportion in a ring. So, in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. You will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. The key word there is the value. Now, the sum of elements, there are 4 elements, 4 income factors that determine how much money you're going to make. 4. They're going to determine how much money you're going to make. And they are the following: demand, supply, quality, and quantity. If you add those 4 things together, they give you the ching-ching, the amount that you're going to make. And in simpler terms, In each of them, you actually talk about, when it comes to demand, we talk about the demand for your value. The demand for your value. We've spoken about the keyword being value. The demand for your value means how much the marketplace wants your product. How much? The value in it. And the supply, again, is still about value, reflects how much the marketplace already has of your products and services and how readily available is it elsewhere. I'm going to leave it on those two. And we'll get a chance. Oh, before I forget, there's a night class today at 9:30. There's a night school, 9:30 to 11:30, voluntary. Ha hona motho a o qobellang o tle, wa itlela hobane o batla ho tlo nwa. E seng jwala? Ebo matawa. O tlo inwesa ka nkgo hobane nna ha ke sa le youth. Ke tlo o tsholela. O tla sala o ipona. That's law 1. The second law is the law that we own as a trademark, as by township. It is abbreviated LOS and the number 4 SME. It's called the law of survival for SMMEs or SMEs. The law of survival for SME. There's 4, again, pillars. But the one pillar, it's at the heart, it's the byproduct and the results. Your business, when you think about it, it has to have what we call, has to be desirable. Desirable. Desirability. And it is simple, kasit kotsa. Retlori, do they want it? Baya ifuna na. Ame baya talka. That's the desirability. Are there people who want this thing that you are talking about, that you are intending to get into business or the service that you want to deliver? Do they want it? The next one is feasibility. Can we do this? Can we do this? We'll unbundle it quickly. Don't have a projector, so write them down if you wish. The third one is visibility. Can they find us? If the 3 of them, if you add them together, when you add them together, your output is viability. Should we do this? Now you go to your dictionary, you'll find different definitions of those things. These are our own. And it goes on to simplify and say, when we're talking about desirability, you ask yourself, I said, do they want this? And your next question is, who are they? Who are these people who want this thing? And how many are they? How much are they willing to pay for this thing? Those are the critical ones. We can add more. How many are these people? How much are they willing to pay? And who are they? In other people will say to you, you do a market research and market analysis. Na ke di bue dipuo tseo. Ipuela Sesotho. Ke bo mang, ba ba kae, ba batla ho patala bokae. Now take that we say marketing, you'll tell me what they say in marketing. Na ke di kenetse. I'm a minor. The next one is feasibility. And I said, can we do this? That's your primary line. That's what you gotta remember. And the question is, what resources do we need to do this? Do we have the skill? Do we have the resources? How much are these resources gonna cost us if we don't have the skill? If we have to get somebody to come and do the job, how much is that person gonna cost us? Where are these resources? Are they in Nigeria? Are they in Petersburg while you are here? And if there's any raw material inputs to create and produce this business, your question is, do we need those inputs and how much are they? By end of tomorrow, you'll discover I'm pizza principal. I don't know why. The third one is visibility. In that is, can they find us? I said, are you on the cloud? Are you internet-based? Are you sophisticated enough for us who live wherever we are to find you? Have you got a website? Have you got an address? Do we know how to find you? The byproduct of those three things, if you take desirability and you minus feasibility and you minus visibility, if you minus those things and you come out positive, you've got profit. You're making money. If any of those two things are more costly than the desirability, you are having no business and you have no money. You need to adjust to those things accordingly. Buy Township is a movement that intends to help and support businesses in our communities to actually sit and generate nothing else but money. We've been told we grew, maybe Lona not. Lona, when we were growing up, we were told money is the root of all evil. Nina aiko lonto. Lack of money is the root of all evil. So go out there and go make money. In Nigeria, we used to say with my brothers out there, we go make money. So go make money and don't be shy about making money. Don't be embarrassed about asking the vet, about charging somebody for what you do. And Lenteya Nogote, you always negotiate us out on prices. Say, Lokshin, forget it. Forget it. If we are going to buy something from you as a friend in here, please pay for that value. Make sure that you, but again, now you've got to put value in the product that you sell by having the quality in it. And anyway, as we say, and I said, there are no questions for me. I asked the questions. Thank you.
All right, a round of applause to Ntate Mahapa. All right, and the last speaker on stage, we have Mengo Bekile, who's going to touch on the most critical thing you need as an entrepreneur, which is coaching and mentorship. Can we please give a round of applause?
Thank you, Tabang. Good afternoon. My name is Ngobegile Manyoni. I'm from the company called Ngobegile Dora Manyoni Group. I'm a business and an executive coach. I'm going to talk about mentorship. Mentorship is really having somebody to hold your hand and work with you throughout your business. What's important as a business, you need somebody to bounce on every now and then. Somebody outside of your family, somebody outside of your friends, somebody who knows the business technically, or also it could be a person who's ran a business and succeeded, right? Don't look at people and say, but she doesn't have a business, she doesn't have a successful business. What's important is that everybody tries something and they fail. If they stand up again, it means that they are ready to run with it. And they have the experience of having done it, having lost everything, and they are able to pick themselves up and run the business. I'm going to quote Dalai Lama. He says, our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if we can't help them, at least don't hurt them. That's what a mentor does to a person, to a business person. When you engage in mentorship, you are able to call a mentor at any given time, but remember there's always our boundaries between a mentor and a mentee. So the mentee, what she will do is, you are able to talk to somebody about the business. You are able to talk to somebody about your personal life. And you must know that a mentor allows you to grow, he allows your business to grow, and he creates a safe space for you to interact with them. On the other hand, a coach is somebody who guides you through your path. You know what you want in life, you know who you are, or you're not sure, a coach will be there to guide you because you have all the answers. And they will make sure that they put you in a safe space also and make you reach your North Star. I think I'm done. Do you have any questions? Yes, ma'am. With mentorship, like I say, it's a person who's got the knowledge, who's got the experience, who have worn that cap, who has worn that t-shirt, and they've walked through that path, right? So it will be a business person, or it will be a person who has worked with an organization, right? Who knows, if we're talking about a technical, if you have IT people, right? It will be a person who will be technically looking after you, right? Giving you the ropes of IT, right? Whereas with coaching is very expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. Coaching is very expensive. And yes, there are organizations that take you through, even universities that take you through coaching. Okay. There was another hand behind you. Oh, thank you. Yes, Dr.
Dumela mme. Is there someone there? Ne ke batla ho botsa, in terms of the program, is where are the offices and how readily available are they, and are they for free, the mentorship?
GEP offers mentorship, right? The reason also why you're here, right? You have all these guys in front of you. I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, right? So GEP has got those programs, right? So you need to affiliate to GEP and get to know what they are doing and when they are doing that. Then they will allocate mentors to help you. You won't be paying, it will be GEP who pays the mentor.
Greetings, Mama. My name is Mandla.
Yes,
and I would like to know, does mentorship guarantee success?
It does guarantee success. The relationship that you build with your mentor is the most important one. What's important is that you are the driver, not the mentor, not the mentor. If you have challenges in the business, you are the one who stand up, who goes out and look for advice. It won't be, it depends entirely on you. If you want to succeed, you are going to make sure that you get what you need in your life or in your business. What normally happens, there's a lot of other people here, right, we have mentored, right? The mentorship failed because they just relaxed. They were just relaxed and not doing anything, right? If we make an appointment with you, you should set the agenda and tell me exactly what is it you'd like me to help you with, right? What pain will I be solving in the business at that particular time? If I come in and you talk about everything else except the business, surely you are not going to get anything from them. I have a mentor, I have a mentor, I have a coach, right? Even at this age and this time, I still have somebody that I know that I need to talk to somebody in relation to this and everything else in my life.
Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay, now tell.
Thank you very much. Can we please give all of them a round of applause? All right. I have Gucci frames here. If you lost your Gucci frames, is it spectacles or frames? This. If they are yours, you can fetch them from me, ne? Lost and found. All right. Thank you very much, colleagues. Can we, for the last time, give them a round of applause? We've also went through the pictures on the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller page, and we see that there's no sleepist yet. So hopefully after lunch, people will be tired and we will capture them. But so far, everybody's awake. It means the speakers, the program director, and the activities involved are keeping you guys awake. Because most of the time when you do these events, there's always 2 or 3 of those ones who are always sleeping. But thank you very much for being attentive, ladies and gentlemen. It simply means you are here for the right reasons, not for the 40,000 rands, but to actually conversate and connect. But the 40,000 is still part of it. You'll see it's a stiff competition. You will go through that. Having said that, I hope everybody, if you haven't, and it becomes, what time is it now? Oh, by 1:30, if you haven't registered for a room, unfortunately, when we finish the program tonight, you will have to Malakwant, whether using a 2 series or the speedboat this side, or taxis if they are still around. So this is a final announcement. For those who have flown before, either to Cape Town or what, there'll be an assistant saying, dear customers, if you are flying on PA 62227 to Cape Town, this is the last and final boarding call for all outstanding passengers who haven't went behind there and registered for a room. So please make sure that you have registered for a room, because this always happens and it is always not nice at all. Then secondly, once you have received your room key, if you decide to go to the bar, which is still acceptable, you are young people, you are youth, we know you engage on academic drinks. If you decide to go to the bar, they will charge your room. If you decide to make a phone call, they will charge your room. But during checkout, they will now start charging you. So if you make an outside call that is not within the rooms, or you decide to engage and go beyond, there's this story that was happening last night on Zati Meshik, where this guy was sent to go buy blankets or something. He met his friend and he drank the man. Yes. So if you decide to drink, we are not liable for the bill. We are not. There is no item number 13. We do not pay for alcoholic beverages. The only thing we will feed you is soft drinks, like now during lunch. So if you decide to go beyond, you will then pay for yourself. We've had such experiences where a gentleman spent over 800 rands. I don't know what he was drinking in 2 hours. That was worth 800 rands. It might have been strong. I'm sure even SAP does not cater for that side of what he drank. And he needed to pay for that. We also had a colleague who was on a phone call for more than an hour. I don't know whom he or she was talking to. It was not even Valentine's Day. So those things, please bear in mind, play them safe, because it's on you. We don't want to blacklist you. So having said that, colleagues, can everybody stood up so that we make this place rain and we go and have lunch? I will tell you. No, we are not going. We are just standing up now. Yes. We stand up so that we bring the energy and the fun back to the room. Yes. All right. So we are going to make this place rain. You see, it's about to rain outside. So we are going to call rain to come inside this room. And this is how you call the rain. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is your thunder. All right, let's test it. 1. And I know people at the back always have issues. 2, you must stand next to them to see that they are doing it. 3, I will wait for you. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you ready? 5. Thunder, man. Thank you. You can sit down. All right. Thank you. Now that the positive energy is back inside the room, there's no negativity. Yes. Colleagues, now we are entering the most critical and important program of our bodies, which is issues of the stomach. It's lunchtime. So the logistics are as follows. I'm sure by now you would have received a ticket. Yes. That ticket is for you to have access to a soft drink. I don't know, do I need to define soft? Okay, yes. So it's apple cider, grape cider, Fanta orange, and so forth and so forth. Then our lunch is going to be from now, and everybody must be seated at exactly 20 minutes past 2, because at 20 minutes past 2, we now go straight to the competition, the boot camp stuff, where we go through the business model canvas. We also go through the pitching process. Then everybody will have an opportunity to pitch to lions. Our lions are around, but you will see them as we start dividing ourselves into commissions. So now the serious stuff starts, where you fight for a space to be on the top 60. So when you see someone next to you, that's your competitor. You need to. There was a guy in KZN who said, if 1 in 7 people are HIV positive, then you can start counting and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, 2. So today, 1 in 3 people will make the top 60. So you start counting 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. So as you go around, those are your competitors. Feel free to engage, conversate, tell them what you do so that you refine your pitch, but we'll take you through the process and give you the tools. Lunch is going to be, we will go downstairs, then move out of this building. There's a building over there adjacent to this one. It's over there. So we'll then go there, have our lunch. At exactly 20 minutes past 2, we would have been seated down, and we'll then start with the bootcamp process. Thank you very much. Hopefully your day is on par. See you later.